We- All right. I wonder if we already have some comments. Hello, everybody. This is Spectral Sailor with Rosie and Jason. And
Good enough.
today we have special guests, Cory and Angel Norr.
Hello, hello. Very happy to be here.
And they are from Hot Springs, Arkansas, and
Correct.
have all sorts of different haunted objects and items that they've collected for a while now. And they're going to tell us about some of them. We're going to pick their brains and find out if they know, like how to tell or how they accumulate the haunted objects and items and do charity events and stuff that they do. So, my first question, I had a question that I wanted to know because I know that when I go somewhere, if I feel an energy or an object that I think has an energy that would be haunted, and then I, sometimes take an EMF detector and I'll actually detect that it does spike the EMF detector, and I'll investigate the item and make sure that there's not anything in it making it go off or near it or behind it making it go off. How do you guys like? How did y'all accumulate your objects or your items?
They find us basically.
That's what I always
Basically,
think.
yeah, it's more of an instinct thing for us too. They just seem to just know they want us, and then
So,
we want them.
right. So we walk into buy a comic book. We end up with a doll or a
Yeah,
haunted item that's
a
sticking
bookend.
a bookend, something that is sticking up in the corner out of the way that maybe even the shop owner forgot was even there.
Yeah,
We seem to find it or it finds us. We have people that we trust that we've been doing it for a long time who call us when they know an item is. We know an item is haunted, like she said, like Angel said, from instinct. And Angel has different capabilities than I, and we communicate with the vessels and the spirits in different ways. Also, um, they just come to us. We're kind of magnets and have been for a long time now, especially after we got together.
yeah,
And
we got really strong.
we've been together almost 6 years. I've been dealing in haunted vessels and dolls for about 13, but I've been in the paranormal for over 25.
That's a long
And
time.
and I actually started in estate sales, and I would do. And now we currently also work at high end. We move high end objects and estate sales for people, and you find haunted stuff.
Oh,
You
all
come
kinds of
across
stuff.
some very old and very haunted items.
Yeah.
So we work deals and accumulate these items and then curate them into our dollhouse. And not to be like the dollhouse is really our discovery, observation, learning location house.
Mhm.
So it just worked out that it's the dollhouse. And it's the extra place we curate our items because if you keep them in storage, you can't research. And we're researchers more than investigators.
Yeah.
We want to know why that item is haunted. Is it haunted for real? What made it haunted? And we try to find out as much about the item as we can. And Angel pointed on something today. A lot of people think haunted items are always dark and scary and have a bad death backstory. That's not necessarily
No.
true. Items become haunted in lots of different ways.
There's energy. Everything's energy, and anything can soak up an energy around it. And it doesn't. The most common could be death, especially violent, or it's something like that. But it doesn't always have to be the case. It's just that emotions are energy. So an object can soak in and take up those emotions and that comes off as energy.
I totally agree.
Sometimes it may be residual, leftover
Mhm.
energy where the spirit perhaps has moved on, or the energy is just it never dies because it's energy, but it's wearing off that object, and it will still appear that that object is active, and it will still put off EMF meters. And then again, you could have a haunted item that you know is guaranteed haunted, and that item lay dormant for years and years and years. And that's how we find them. We walk in and it's like pop, lights are dim. I was in Wisconsin once in a flea market, and I walked in with the idea, ooh, maybe something cool's in here. And I gave up and I saw a door in the corner, and I looked, and yeah, you could go in. And as soon as I opened that door, the lights dimmed. And I made the corner, and they really dimmed, like out of a movie, and they kind of sizzled. I
Really?
Yes. And so I looked around, and the items I found kind of was not items I wanted to deal with. So I just left that room and left everything there. Wisconsin, it was in there. So some things that call out to you, you don't want, we don't want. And we've also learned in the business, sometimes you get what you ask for.
Yeah.
And that's not always. Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
we're
totally
going to
agree with that.
accept unsolicited gifts any longer.
No.
I was just sharing this, the link or whatever. I'm not there. Yeah, I totally agree with the like it picks you thing. Because I know that I've even had dreams about something, and the next day the entire dream started and finished, and like the item that I dreamed about was right before my physical eyes, and I was just like, "What? This is not real."
Yes.
Something like that happened to one of y'all.
That's
That's a lot.
it's how we acquire also a lot of things. You know, we've mentioned our dolls help write our stories, and they truly do. They create them, and sometimes I think they actually manifest little things. And so we write them into these stories and to our events. Amelia has written stories. I got off track for a minute.
Hey
Anyhow,
Jessica. Hey Adam. Sorry, there's a bunch of comments coming in.
okay.
Hey Liz. Hey Penny and Lisa and Robert and Michelle. Adam. Last week I got backed up on the comments because I didn't see them, and they were just like
Well, good, because I lost track of my
there's a
comments.
ton of them. Adam says, "I wish I was that lucky when I go to get comic books. You could get a haunted comic book.
Keep
I
your
have some
senses open.
weird energy.
Hey, we do have haunted books. Anything can be haunted.
Yeah.
That is a fact. And a lot of people has haunted items in their house and don't even know it. If you bought anything from a garage sale, a flea market, the possibility's there.
Yeah.
But not everything's haunted.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes I think some person
That's what we like to.
might tell you like, "Oh, I have this demonically possessed doll. I need to give it to you," and you get it, and you're like, "I don't feel anything." And you investigate it, and nothing happens. You sleep with it. You record it on video overnight. Nothing happens. And you're like, "It's really cool. I guess I'll keep it anyway if you don't want it back." But I'm not getting anything. And even like then, maybe like, and maybe it wasn't even meant to go to you, and maybe I gave it to Jason, say, and then it starts being active.
Exactly.
And that's how we do our adoptions and our rehoming. We can't possibly keep everything we have.
Yeah.
And that's why we started the dollhouse. But we also can't keep them in storage. What good is that doing? That's not helping the spirit.
Yeah, they probably would get bored in there anyways, wouldn't they?
Correct. And strange things happen. So we figured, hey, we create the dollhouse and we can film them and watch them in a almost normal type atmosphere without putting them in places,
and interact with them as they interact with you.
Correct.
Hey Marie, and hey Liz, how's everybody?
Hello everybody. Thanks for watching us. This is awesome.
So how many items do you have, you think?
We probably have 30 active at the moment, including our personal collection. We have rehomed and housed probably over 200, 300 active items.
Oh wow.
Over the everything isn't haunted, like I said. So active, we have 30 at the moment currently. Mm-hmm. And we keep some in our home. Amelia's one. She was our poster girl. Amelia, I found her in a shop, and Angel and I have changed her hair. She will play music for you sometimes. She created Bedlam Nursery for us. We actually thought she was the spirit of Elizabeth Dyer. And the name Amelia kept coming to us. And then finally we figured out she wasn't Elizabeth Dyer because we had a lot of things coming from the UK. And we figured out she was creating a story for us. And we created Bedlam Nursery with Amelia here. Oh. Reagan was my very first doll. And Reagan has decided to retire. So that's why she's not here tonight. And she's kind of like your first dollar bill. You put it in a frame, for a business. Well, that's Reagan. She's always going to be our first, but
like a staple item.
Right,
Yes.
but she's out. She's done a lot of events with us. She's did events with John LeComte from Evanescence. He was an
Oh,
event
how
that he did with
cool.
us before.
How
And so
sweet.
Reagan's had her day. Here's a very special girl if you guys would like to see one that really kind of freaks us out a little bit right now, and we call her Catherine. She is a 1920 Grace Putman Philo baby, and I'm
Oh
going to
my
show you.
goodness.
Check out her eyes. Now, this is not to offend or be offensive, and we've talked to her about it, but she kind of is different from some of the other spirits we've had. And she kind of has a frog or lizard type look to her
She
sometimes
does kind of, yeah.
that she gives to us sometimes. It really, really freaks us out.
She has a
And
unique look.
we
Wow.
keep her in a case for her protection because of the age of her vessel. And that's about it. But she does kind of freak us out of a lot of our stuff. She's the one right now giving us a little bit of freakiness. So we keep her in the dollhouse. She does not come to our home. I have a couple I'd like to show you that freaks us out. Now this could be just coincidence. We've never got an answer on this. This is Heather and Martha. This is our couple of our twins, and they are active, and their hair may start raising up in front of you here in a
Oh
few.
my goodness. Those are
Okay,
cool.
now
I love them.
check out Martha's chin. She has a bloody fingerprint on her,
Wow.
and Heather's dress is bloody. And it's been so long. I don't wear gloves anymore because there's no biohazard. Um, but I rescued these girls from the trash. They were in a bag of about 20 other dolls. Now perhaps the owner got cut on them and trashed them, but I have tried to wash that off of Martha's chin more than once, and it always comes back.
Yeah.
We've oxied the dress a few times, and it always comes back. So we left it on. We don't know why they're bloody. We don't know why they were in the trash. All the other dolls were just beyond repair. But Heather and Martha has a broken leg. Their clothes are kind of tethered. We don't really know their true story. They're kind of loners. They don't like to be apart. So we keep those in the dollhouse as well. But they're one of our mystery items that just kind of that thumbprint. I'll show you. That thumbprint keeps coming back. I don't know if you can see it, but it has been there since day one. And then we have this clown picture right here that we found. And it's a regular picture on a regular, nothing special. And in 1998. But it's got some vibes. And we
Oh wow. That's cool.
right? And not really sure. The guy that signed it on the back just kind of jotted it. Well, let me tell you, it's got some vibes. It's more than just a painting there. It's about 30 years old. I think it was painted in 98 is the date on it.
Yeah.
We also collect curiosities. It's not haunted. If you guys would like to see something, we have from Mike Zahn. You guys know who Mike Zahn is?
That
From
name seems really familiar. Who is that?
Oddities, Abstract Oddities. His box right
Okay,
here.
I was thinking it was a musician.
We like different kind of stuff, and we recently received this.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're not really sure the
good at
age
that?
of it, but this is the how do you pronounce it, back?
It's the arm bone. It's the radius and the ulna.
The radius and the ulna.
It's an ulna.
Yes.
And y'all
So
aren't sure where it originated from or whatever?
it is an old, I believe he said Clay Adams. So and you can see the markings on it. It's all in Latin, so it has actually been medically used. But that's one of the first pieces that we'll be collecting of that sort. We also collect a lot of old religious items, and here is a
That's neat.
a lot of you may have seen this. This is the Last Rites.
Yeah,
So,
I want one of those.
That's cool.
Penny says maybe they were used as a voodoo doll. I think she used the twins.
Very possible.
The twin dolls where the blood wouldn't come off. I think that's what she's talking about.
And you know, dolls were created in the beginning for all sorts of things and not toys. And so, wow, the color changed. So I hope an orb or something would go by. That would be really awesome. I'd like you to see it. Most of the time,
and then we might not even notice it until afterwards either. Sometimes the guests will say, like the people watching, sometimes they see stuff all the time that we don't notice. I've seen
Exactly.
them see
We
stuff
have
all the
film.
time. Yeah.
We have film we're going to release very soon. We're starting something called Cory and Angel's Next Chapter, Realms of Paradox Next Chapter.
Mhm.
It's something we've been working on for a couple of years now. We have some different vessels called dream vessels that we're really are into right now. We'll talk about that later. But Cory and Angel's Next Chapter is going to include just everything, the books that the dolls. We have footage of places we have investigated and did research on that we saw nothing until we put the film together. But you guys also know it doesn't always transfer. You can watch that video and see it, and you cannot get it on any other format. It will not transfer. We have so much video that we are trying to put together in the last 2 years that some of it will not transfer, some of it doesn't make sense. And we saw so much stuff on there that we only saw on the video that we didn't even see what we got to go to the Malco, the old Princess Theater. You guys can Google that in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And we got to go down in the very bottom of it, and it's very spooky, very haunted, very well known. It's very easy to Google. Long story short, and yes, it took us into some really strange paths. We had some GoPros go insane, and
Yeah.
it was weeks later before we saw the dust clouds and the shadows walk between us that were right there.
Yeah. Then you went back to review things. You mean like you went back to do
Correct.
review of video footage and you caught some things?
Correct.
Yes.
That we did not see while we were there with our own eyes. We saw it only on the footage.
Lisa says hello. Good evening, everyone. Lisa
Good
Davis.
evening. Hello.
Lisa. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I was gonna ask you what your your items range from. You kind of went over it a little bit there with your dolls and then and other items, but yeah, I was just curious, and and with that kind of stuff, and then you got hooked up with what's his name from Evidence. That's pretty cool too. So
Oh, John McCombs. Yes, he was. We do charities for Stop Animal Cruelty and various other things when we get the chance to. The last two's been a bust, so he was kind enough to come out and to promote a function for us one night.
oh, wow. That's
Hey,
pretty cool.
Liz.
I know they're from Arkansas, or at least a couple of them are. So.
Yes,
Yes,
correct.
yes.
John's actually from up the
Evanescence.
road. We know John personally, and then yes, the rest of them's from Little Rock.
I
Okay.
knew that. Yep.
There's
They said
actually a lot of people from Hot Springs, Arkansas. There's so many people here, you wouldn't even know it on any given day or night. It's really unbelievable. It's why we like it. Besides our family being here and it being such a haunted, it's why we came back and left Tennessee. We went out to Tennessee to build a haunted house, and then well, we all know what happened in 2020. So we're back home. We're back home where we belong.
Yeah,
there's a lot of haunted history in Hot Springs.
Yeah, I like Hot Springs a lot. What's that main hotel right there that's haunted? That's
Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington. That's right. Yeah.
And then the Majestic, it burnt, and they're about to put in. We have several bricks from the Majestic, and that's been a real popular item. But we have some bricks from the Majestic, and they're about to tear that down and destroy it and build a whole new casino place. So another historic place gone. It's very actually we have a lamp on over there right now with a green glow going. It's from the Majestic Hotel. And it's done some freaky stuff. Matter of fact, that's a good point. That light has came on when Angel and I first met and started dating. That light has came on before, and when it plugged in. And okay, so I saw something for the first time. We saw something that night together for the first time. We've heard of ectoplasm, and you've watched Ghostbusters, and you've heard of that. Well, that night, I still don't know what it was, but the light came on. It shot up and struck the mirror, bounced off the mirror. We saw it. We both saw it, but we saw it in different forms, but yet it made the same movement. But when it was all over with and we turned the lights on and investigated it further, it left this goop on the light bulb and on the mirror that smelled metallic. And I smelled it, which I don't know why I did that. And I was like, oh. And so, but I couldn't believe I was looking at it, and it just started like snot. And it was the only time it ever happened, and it's the only time we've ever seen it happen. But it was on that lamp right over there from the Majestic.
That's interesting.
Liz says, hello, everyone. This is interesting. I love paranormal.
Yes.
Yes. And being, you know, being into the antiques and the high end objects and going in people's houses, and sometimes they have stuff in their house they don't even know, and then sometimes they'll just come straight at you and be like, "Hey, what do you think of that?"
Yeah.
You know, and it shocks you. You're like,
I feel like
"What
when
did
you
you?"
do this kind of work and someone knows that you do this kind of work, then you automatically get all these different offers or
Yeah.
invitations
Yeah,
to check
and
stuff out for people's
yeah,
houses and places and
and we've been
idea objects.
Yes, I'm
Oh
sorry.
yes.
My audio was cutting out, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut in on you. We
No,
do
Oh,
get to investigate some great houses. The one we've been in currently has just been so active. It's actually left us with a paranormal hangover. If anyone's
Yeah.
familiar with
yep,
that,
we know what that
it's
is.
horrible.
It's
It's
awful.
horrible.
There's
yeah,
day in, day out in that house, and it's just constant.
A lot of the people from PUN talk about paranormal hangovers. I didn't even actually know it was really called that. I just called it like a ghost sickness. But
Yeah.
when I guess I started chatting with people from the PUN, then they started calling it a paranormal hangover, and I was like, "Hey, that makes sense. That sounds like a good, way to describe it."
Yeah.
You have a
I
yeah.
question. Do you guys have a favorite haunted item?
I
Oh,
do. She has one. Mine is Reagan, my very first doll. But
mine is tied.
hers tied. But when you say favorite, whew, you know what I mean? I guess they maybe one I favor more because I can't say I have a favorite, but I would have to say for me, it would have to be Reagan because she started it all. And then for Angel,
It's Beth.
it's Beth, which is about 120-year-old doll.
So yeah, she's wrapped up nice and tight.
Wow.
She gets talked to once in a while, but she's so old I don't want her to fall apart.
She is
Yeah.
very,
Is that
very,
one of your favorites, Angel? The best doll?
Beth is my favorite. Yes, her name is
Yeah.
Beth. I love her. I just
Is
love
she
her.
one that was in one of the magazine articles that y'all showed me?
Beth was not. Reagan was. Now Reagan was in the red dress.
Okay,
See, I
it was
wanted Reagan
Reagan.
here tonight, but I just was
Yeah.
scared Reagan wouldn't participate, and I told her that we wouldn't do that. We don't push any. Our dolls aren't puppeteers. Our dolls aren't puppets. So she did not want to be here tonight. But she's the one in the red that was in the Chat It's Fate magazine that we were in
Yeah.
2016. But she's also in there with Olivia. Olivia, you want to talk about scary dolls?
Yeah.
Olivia is in Oklahoma now, where she
Yeah.
belongs.
We'll
Uh,
get on bye-bye.
Oklahoma.
Olivia was in the black, yes. And one of my
Ooh.
least favorite would probably be Olivia. If I have a least favorite, more than a favorite, would be Olivia.
Hey, Sydney. Sydney's everywhere. I watch a lot of our other
Olivia,
shows, and Sydney's always there. I think Adam joins quite a bit too, but I see Sydney on every one of them. How's it going? I was going to ask you guys a question. Like, do y'all have a way, or do y'all like feel like you can kind of tell if it's like a child spirit, or if it's like an adult spirit, or either a negative or a positive spirit?
Now the negative and positive is pretty much an automatic for
Hmm.
me. Anyway, I that's just a good feeling you get. Sometimes with the spirits, if it's an adult or a child, it takes a little bit longer, but sometimes you know immediately. Sometimes it just, and I don't know how to explain how. It's just you just know. But the dark and the evil is that should be immediate.
it's
And
almost always immediate,
Hmm.
or
yeah.
it will sneak in on you, and it has snuck in on us.
We have been got a few times, and
like sneak attacked, and
yeah,
we'll try to. And so we try to just stay away from that. We know a couple of people who handles that for us if we do acquire one of those
and
items,
that's where it goes.
and then we're done. We're out.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
it. I don't like when people ask us, "Oh, do you have anything dark and evil?" I want something dark. And no, you.
Yeah,
Oh
No.
no,
do
you
not.
don't.
You do not.
the
It's not
mystery
fun.
of it, I guess.
Yeah, it's not the movies. It's not. It's
Right.
no. You don't want it.
Not like the Annabelle movie, which I mean, it didn't really have a good outcome, anyways. Anyone that was
Correct.
around that doll, if you think
And
about it.
that stuff is real. You see a lot of stuff in movies that's unreal, and of course they have to embellish because even on these reenactment stories, if they didn't have the the music and the shadows. It would just be a story. But some of them just take it too far, you know, and really, we have a lot of stories, but we don't have the video to back it up. They would be boring. We have seen some scary stuff, and then we have seen stuff that we just still don't know what we saw. If that makes sense, we're just like, what was that? You know?
I think Sydney's talking about the negative energy. She said, I've been known to say that before, but I changed my mind on that after hearing all of these stories. LOL.
It is something a long time ago I thought I liked to. And here's as dark as I go. I collect serial killer cards and and things like that, but we don't collect real haunted items. But we do like oddities, and we do like weird, you know, weird, different, crazy kind of stuff. But we try to stay away from anything that's really dark. Now, come Halloween, we have Bedlam, and Bedlam is about I don't even say it right. It's Bedlam, and excuse me. It's Bedlam, and now it's dark, but it's all pretend. It's all pretend.
What is Bedlam? I know I've heard of that. I thought it was like a football thing.
Well, the Bedlam Nursery Doll Sanatorium. It's a group we created. It's what our next haunted house is going to hopefully this October be. And it's a great little story that Amelia here and a friend of ours helped create. Amelia and Angel and I wrote it, which goes together with 3 other stories. We're working on a graphic novel at the moment.
That's awesome.
And we decided to take this theme a little further and turn it into something. So it's called Bedlam Nursery Doll Sanatorium. You can find it on Facebook, and it will be the theme of our haunted house this year. And it is what it is. It's a doll
sanatorium. Does it run? Like, does it run only October or?
We're going to try to open it in like the end of September through October. We'll post the dates. We are nailing down the venue as you speak. We got so disappointed last year. We were going to open in Nashville, and we didn't. So we don't want to say too much yet. But that is what we're working on right now.
That's cool.
Sydney said she has a serial killer coloring book. That's funny.
That's awesome. We have some pages.
Oh yeah.
Some serial killer pages we color. And these cards are really cool. I've had these for about 30 years. They're kind of really hard to get now. And they're artist they're artist renditions of different serial killers, and they're really neat.
Oh, that's for sure.
That's right. So it's kind of we kind of collect different things. Her and I do besides haunted stuff, and we have 2 storage buildings full. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
A question for you guys. Liz says, "Hi, where is the scariest place that you guys have been to? Thank you."
The Princess Theater, which is at the bottom of the Malco in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and then in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Excuse me, I'm very dry mouth tonight. Say it, babe.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Right outside of Nashville, an old plantation. That place is probably one of the darkest, creepiest, unexplainable places. And we lived next door to it for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, literally next door, right there. And it was really one of the scariest places we have ever met.
You can almost just see just this veil.
Yeah, over the property or the whole plantation.
The property, yes.
It was
like looking through a black screen, like looking through and it
would video like that.
Yes, it would.
It's just crazy, and all the pictures, you could just see almost just this veil.
And it was just scary. There was nothing good about it. There was just no one. It's just you didn't even want to be there. And unfortunately, we lived literally feet away from it.
So what was that, heavy energy?
Very heavy. So heavy.
A lot of different. Just
Adam wants to come to y'all's haunted house.
Please do. It's going to be lots of fun. It's going to be. We do creepy. We do psychological. We don't do bloody and gory. We do mind creepy.
That's cool.
And it's all dolls, mostly dolls.
I've heard about that plantation house before. I've seen lots of different things on it. Read some stuff on there. It's interesting.
Like the battleground was what, Stones?
Stone River. Stone River's battleground. Yes.
Yeah. So most of like Murfreesboro, Tennessee is old battleground anyway. Yeah. It's crazy.
And one of the strangest things I saw there was in the sky, and it was a cloud. And I was actually having a kind of a weird day, and I passed the battleground, and believe it or not, I really saw this. I almost had a wreck, and I looked up, and I saw this soldier,
The
and
soldier?
yes, in the sky, you could see his
Yeah.
gun, you could see his figure. He was clearly outlined. There was no doubt about it, to the point that I almost had a wreck trying to record it, and it was there. I mean, it
It's
wasn't
not
like,
safe.
hey,
Don't
look at
try
that.
that at home, guys.
It was
Yeah,
right,
don't. No.
because I shouldn't have, but it was just so unbelievable. I wanted to stop my car because it wasn't like, hey, look, that looks almost like a soldier, or hey, that looks like a. It was there. It was there. It was standing
Wow.
there.
Well, that's
And
really cool.
you
Sydney
know, I
wants to
don't.
know where you got your cards at.
I bought these actually a long time ago from a company called Kitchen Sink Press. I bought these back in like 1993, straight from a. I think they're closed down now. You can find them online, maybe.
So
Maybe.
would you ever think about owning any like serial killer art that they did themselves?
I did, but that's too dark for me. I know a lot of people that have it, and that's their thing, and that's cool, but not personally, no. I like books. I like maybe if I could get a certain artifacts, but there's a lot of things I would stay away from.
Right. Yeah. I've seen it before, and I've seen collections of them. So it's just I'm just curious, since you collect
It's
everything.
fascinating. It's fascinating. I am fascinated by it, but I'm scared of bringing in dark energy with it if
Yeah.
it was a real personal item.
Really
So,
dark energy.
correct. So I try not, and I'm torn on going to Zach's museum, because
Ask
I,
Jason about that place.
see, I would love to go there, and we have some stuff related through Zach, like Peggy the doll. We know Jane Harris from the UK, and he has Peggy the doll,
Right.
and we have a book, Peggy the doll, signed by Jane Harris. So I would love to check out the museum, but I don't want something jumping on us. We are real known for stuff to attach to us. That's why
That's
we
what
stay away from
Jason
it.
said happened kind of to him.
Yeah. It's pretty intense, and there's all kinds of things in there.
Yeah.
But it's like $40 something a person, but it's totally worth the money, and it really is.
Wow. Well, then we should make a
We'll keep
trip.
that in mind then, but yeah, I like to be
Awesome.
careful.
I got a question for you guys from Adam. What is the oldest book that you guys have?
Well, we just got rid of 1847 German Bible. I guess
Oh my gosh. I
yeah,
would
I
try
guess
to have that.
it was nice.
Yeah.
I gave that to my sister. I guess the other oldest
Where
book
does
is
she live? No, I'm just kidding. I'm
the
like,
other
let's
oldest
do
book is
it.
1901 American history book. I forget the author and all. I actually just acquired it not long ago.
Sydney wants to go to Zach Baggins Museum.
We do too now.
Well, we'll give it a shot.
We'll just be heavily armored.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that bad of a price when you think about everything that's in there.
We do not provoke.
No.
We do not provoke.
Yeah.
Now,
We don't
See
do
what
that.
happens when you do.
you know what? We may have trouble if we don't show Eliza tonight. She is over here looking around. We do have a doll that's a diva
Who is
that has to be
Yeah.
stored away from everyone else.
It's a
And this is
celebrity.
Eliza. And
Oh, she's
let's
pretty.
see if we can get her. Oh, yes, we try to get her eyes. And there
Oh,
you go, Eliza.
she's
She
pretty.
has broken so much of our stuff.
Yes.
And that's why she stays here at the dollhouse. And that's another reason we have the dollhouse and started the dollhouse. We got tired of our stuff getting broken.
Or
They-
hidden, or missing.
Missing,
lost,
we do have a lot of
misplaced.
that will play tricks on you and take your stuff. And
And he said,
We-
"Wow, her eyes! Oh my gosh, her eyes!"
yes,
Love
yes, I actually pursued this doll. This doll I did pursue. I found her at a flea market. The lady didn't want to get rid of her. Not yet. Then she kind of priced her really high.
her.
About 2 months later, I tracked her down and talked her out of her.
There's some dolls that I want to get a hold of like that are pretty high priced. There's 2 of them right now, and they're at a Salvation Army sitting in a glass case. But I'm not going to tell anybody where they're at because someone might go get them.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And we do have great little cubby holes. Hey, I have something I want to show you guys. Speaking of cubby holes, I'll be right back 1 second. This is one of my prized items. It's not necessarily haunted, but it's one of my prized items. It's definitely not a globe. It's not a yard globe. We were told it was a.
Some kind of ball.
We were told it was a lightning rod.
I'm glad
And
you have pants on.
right.
His prayer was right in front of the camera.
Oh wow.
Well, that's neat.
Very, very old. It's not like if you look at it really close, you can see it had liquid in it, we believe at once, which we're not sure why. I've looked it up. The only one we can find, of course, is on Worth Point. I've even asked a few people that's in the business. Mike Zahn himself wasn't even sure.
That's
It's
not
very
flat on
heavy,
the bottom.
very thick, very heavy. The one I looked up is exactly like it, and it's supposedly a lightning rod from an old church. I'm
Oh
not
my gosh,
sure.
yeah,
I
Frankenstein. I
just
was
really,
gonna say it
really like
reminds me
it.
of Frankenstein. It does. It reminds me of Frankenstein. I was thinking Mad Frankenstein elixir bottle or something because just the image of it was popping in my
Yeah.
mind of like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Correct. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Well, that's really neat though.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
So
And
we've been lucky. We got people that know what we like. They look us up. They know when something's haunted or they feel like it's haunted. It's not always haunted, but a lot of times they're right. You know, people just know. They just
Yeah.
know. They know us now. So that's how we acquire most of our stuff.
kind of like
Right.
that sixth sense, the intuition, just like
Yes.
pricklies
And I've often been,
on the back of your
I'm
neck. Or
sorry.
Mhm.
I said like goosebumps or something, prickly intuition, sixth sense,
Yes, yes, yes.
goosebumps.
There was a little tiny echo. Okay.
I think,
Oh, was there?
I think
Yeah.
Oh, we're
something.
good.
Oh,
Jason, I'm blaming it on.
Yeah.
It's Jason's fault.
It could be.
no.
It might be the girl. It might. I'm telling you. Hey, have you guys ever had audio that just would not transfer to another format? Like you see it, you're looking at it.
Yeah.
We have several. We have several. I have a cat. I've seen a ghost cat once. I was doing security in this old creepy building, and this cat kept running in and out, and I had to be the one that opened the door to let people in and out. And it was a this old place, man. And it's like 5 stories, and so you have the buzzer to let them in. You have a camera. You got all these monitors, and so my boss tells me, "Hey, these cats keep running in and out. Don't let them in, man. There's this little black one that runs in." So for 2 days, I'm chasing this cat. Well, this last night, I decided I'm gonna get this cat. So I brought me some treats in my pocket, and I put them out. And I noticed the cat is all weird looking. So he runs out. Well, before the door shuts, he runs back in, and he looks all weird and wet. And I'm like, wow, what happened to you? So I put him back out like I was told. And so he runs off. So the next night I come in and my boss says, "Hey, what was you doing last night?" I said, "What do you do?" She said, "Well, I review the footage every night." And I said, "Okay." She says,
There's a
"You're
husband there.
you're putting these little things on the floor. What?" And I said, "I'm trying to catch that cat you guys were telling me about." And so she shows me the footage. There's no cat. You just see me putting treats on it. And then she
I
tells me
have
that
had it.
she was
I've
telling me
had
the
a
cat
black cat.
hit 2 days earlier. So it had to be a ghost cat.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. 'Cause I dealt with a black cat, and I don't know if it was a shapeshifter. I don't know if it was a spirit, but it was a black cat that was there one minute, and then it just poof, it vanished into thin air, and it had showed up 3 times. I saw it in about the same area, and I know what you're talking about. I
And
know,
so
but
my
somebody
boss,
else saw it besides me, so I knew I was not nuts. Okay, somebody else saw it, and then it poofed, and it was gone. You guys,
and
there's some comments for y'all.
okay,
Zach's museum is so creepy. I saw his museum on TV. Have you ever been to the Island of Dolls? God, I want to go there so bad.
no,
we want to go.
That
Yeah,
is that would be a pleasure cruise for us.
I watch
that
all the
would be.
videos, I watch all the shows, I watch everything about it. I want to
Mhm.
soak it in. I want to go.
We should all get together and do that.
Yes.
Jason's afraid. He said no.
Come on, it
Oh,
would be great.
yes.
I'd go. I
We'll
think we
protect.
could talk him into going if it was going to be on
I think
TV or
so.
something. When
I
you
think
go
that's neat.
to
What a
TV.
great story to tell.
It would be awesome.
Eric says, such a cool topic. Hey guys from Tennessee. Eric's from Tennessee. I was plagued with a mobile Last Rites box that had a very extreme attachment that ended up in the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas. Wow,
wow.
that is so cool, Eric.
That is
That's
very cool. I'd be
Yes.
honored. I'd be honored to have something
Yes.
in a museum of that stature.
Did
We
that-
actually want to put together. I know a friend of you guys, Ricky, but we've been wanting to do it for a while ourselves. Put together something like Jonathan from Corn, he put a long time ago. I saw something called the beginning of the end, and it was one of the coolest exhibits I ever went in. And I wanted to build something like that ever since that. And I want to build a mobile haunted house / our personal collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I've been talking to him about that. Y'all keep putting that in his ear. Keep pushing that in his ear.
definitely,
Help me
definitely.
keep putting that bug in Ricky's ear because I've been telling him that too for a minute, and he's just. I think
He's
he's been hiding and laying low lately.
he's on the right trail. He just
Yeah.
needs to stay with it. Stay with it.
Yeah.
Sydney says she just remembers all of the spiders on the haunted doll island, and that would be the only thing that would keep me from going there.
I'm gonna try to ignore it.
You found Angus Trigger.
Yeah.
Blowtorch and just like hairspray and just without killing the dolls, kill the spiders.
There you
So
go.
which one is your favorite your favorite like famous doll, Annabelle, Robert the doll, Peggy,
I would say Robert and Peggy. I got to say Peggy because of Jane Harris, but Robert's really cool, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
Annabelle I like, but I think she's really highly embellished. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know a lot about Robert. I just like the way that he looks, and he looks creepy, and he's a sailor.
Right,
doll.
right. And he's got a great story, and I kind of just believe that it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe Annabelle's true, don't get me wrong, but I think it's heavily
Yeah.
too much, too overtold, so Robert would be my
Robert would have
favorite.
to be.
Yeah. Now, what exactly, if you know this or not, what exactly was the the original Chucky based on, or do you know?
Now, he was based, I forgot. I know he was a serial killer, but I don't know if he was based on a true story or not. I do
Yeah.
not, honestly. I
Xavier.
should.
It was a character named Xavier that was ex-criminal that escaped from a prison very
Right.
nearby.
Right. And I know they ruined the new movie. I like the old one better.
No, I didn't see the new one. Is it not that great?
It's disappointing for us, yes.
Yeah, it didn't look like I'd want to watch it.
Oh, I got a bunch of comments flooding in. Wow. How are you guys? From Jeff. Jeff, hey, how's it going?
Hey, hey.
And Courtney
This
would
is
love to
great.
go to
We
the
love it.
museum or the creepy doll island or the haunted doll island. Jeff says, how are you guys?
Good. Having a good time.
Adam says, come to Texas if y'all do.
We are speaking
Oh, that's crazy.
of working on something outside of Longview, Texas,
Yes.
if we can make it happen. If we can make it happen, that will be Northeast Texas. We're really trying.
That's great.
That's awesome. And Isaac says, I say hi to you from New Mexico or from Mexico City.
Awesome.
Isaac.
Thanks for watching.
Yes.
Amelia's actually from Texas. Amelia's from Gladewater, Texas.
Oh, really?
That's where we found her.
Yeah. Eric says, Katrin Redick or Ian Austin. I'm not sure if he is talking about specific paranormal people or specific dolls.
So,
Eric, is that a doll's name? Huh?
Speaking more in the hot springs area, have you got to do anything with the Al Capone stuff or anything there?
I've been in the tunnels a long time ago. They've closed a lot of them. A lot of them are hard to get to, and it's actually very dangerous. I did see about 15 years ago, I did get a glimpse of the bowling alley under there. As far as haunted
Wow.
no, I was just in there.
Yeah.
we were in there. It's very hard to get to now and almost impossible.
Yeah.
We did go to Louisville, Kentucky, and stay in the Stillbach, I believe is how
The
you
Hilton,
pronounce
yes.
it, the Hilton there. And he had some affiliation, and they did show us around a little bit of his stuff there in Al Capone.
Yeah.
They have the Ohio Club here, and they have a lot of Al Capone stuff.
Yeah. A lot of history there.
A lot of history.
Yeah.
Come to Dallas, Fort Worth. Sorry, I'm reading the comments because I got to interact with everybody because they're the reason we're on here, right? Come to Dallas, Fort Worth from Sydney. Adam said, no, come to San Antonio.
Hey, love San Antonio.
Y'all should come to Ohio. And I was in Ballinger, Texas yesterday. So a lot of people were here.
Awesome.
In Texas. One more comment. How the haunted house is creepy. 2, what is the most haunted house that the paranormal have been to? I'm from Scotland.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Would love to go to Scotland. That
I'm
would be
Scottish and Irish.
Yes.
the most haunted house I've been to would be when I was a child. My
Yeah.
mother and them lived in an old funeral home in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. That was really scary. That was freaky to me. And then I would say the house we were living in last year, for real,
Yeah.
next door to the plant, I'm telling you, was
Yeah.
probably one of the freakiest, scariest, most active houses besides the one we're investigating now. Has scared us a couple times. We have okay, I'm not gonna lie, we left a couple of times,
Yeah.
and now we understand why they called us in, and everybody else has quit.
It's thick
We've
in that
been in this
house.
house for 8 months.
Wow.
It is unbelievable.
Do you mind me asking what made you leave?
We got scared. It was just the energy was so just
Yeah.
saying, do not.
The feeling that is in there for me is just it starts closing. Everything's closing in, and it's just
Yeah, I know.
and everything starts changing around me. Like you start feeling like you recognize where you are, but you don't feel the same.
And that's a time to take a breather and step outside and get some fresh air. Yeah.
I don't frighten easily anymore, but
No,
when I feel
don't
like
at
a
all.
child inside, it's time to exit.
Or
Yeah,
suffocating feeling.
Yeah, sometimes we have to step away sometimes. And I think it affects her when we do things more, you know.
I've had to go out of a house because I was going like basically kind of like nuts. I was mad, I was sad, I was like angry, and I was like nervous, and I was like scared at the same time. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I need to go outside.
Yes.
With a question. Have you guys heard of the Bel Air house?
I'm not familiar with that one.
No.
It's in Ohio, I think. Jeff was the groundskeeper there at one time.
It sounds very awesome. I will look it up.
That's right. We tell people to Google things all the time. We're going to do that.
Yes.
Oh, Eric tagged Katrin, whose name I had read just a minute ago. She was one of the original owners of Peggy the Haunted Doll that's filmed with in Las Vegas when we were putting the Last Rites box and Peggy in Zach's museum. Awesome. Thank you, Eric.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. Well, we have a book autographed by Jane, and we've had several other items from Jane. We don't have them any longer except for the book and a couple of personal things. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
It is, yeah.
So Cindy said every emotion at once, and I said yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I mean, sometimes you just know there's a black cloud. It pushes you. It tells you no. I mean, it's instinct too, you know. Like you know not to drive over a cliff. Yeah. You can't make yourself.
Yeah, or stick your hand in a fire. I mean, unless you're
correct.
Or even in the circus. I mean, I don't know. They like to eat fire. Were you gonna ask a question, Jason?
Well, I was curious about some, other hot spring stuff. Since you guys are from there, what do you think about the ghost tours there and how accurate they are, or if you know anything different than what they tell you, or if you took them?
Well, they're good. The ghost tours are good. I haven't been on it in a while. I know they're doing better, and I think they're getting more accurate, and they're getting more locations. Some of the locations, it's gotten great reviews. We liked it. It's been a few years. I'm not sure how they've changed it up. We've only been back about 6 or 8 months, so I think they've just now reopened.
Yeah.
But they're worth doing. They're good. But there's also other places you can go and Google on your own as well that they don't go to.
Yeah.
That are haunted.
And you can do that for free. Yes, and you can do that for free. I'm not saying don't do the tour, but there is also like the Arlington.
Yeah, I went there on a tour and I really, really liked it, and I really enjoyed it. I took the long tour, like the really slow walk through.
And there's just plenty of places you can Google, but the tour is worth doing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a few years, and the last time I was there and took it, it was good.
Yeah,
and it's nice downtown. It's cleaned up. It's growing. It's popping. We're really glad to be back, and we're gonna get in there and be part of the industry somewhere too. So
yeah,
most definitely.
Sorry, we had some comments flooding in. That's how I got my name, the goat with the ghost box, Jeff said. Sydney said the Bel Air house sounds so familiar to me.
Does it
The
really
only
does?
the shows are like.
It's so much to take in, that
BuzzFeed Unsolved, maybe, she said. Maybe it was on there. You gotta watch that. BuzzFeed Unsolved. That's like one of my favorite YouTube
yeah,
shows
Oh,
ever.
we watch any and all of those that we can get in, Some of them are a little cheesy, but for the best ones, we watch them.
yeah.
That one's like not just like haunted things, it's like paranormal anything basically. The
Yeah.
BuzzFeed Unsolved. Anything that's paranormal or unexplainable.
And
Isaac
that's what we
says,
like. That's
huh?
what we do.
Yeah, that's why I was telling you because you said y'all are more like interested in like paranormal and research, not just only the umbrella of spirits or whatever like that, just anything.
Mhm.
Right, correct.
Oh yeah.
Isaac said, "I need to go. Thank you guys for this that you do." You're welcome, Isaac.
All right.
And it would be great if the paranormal could come to Scotland one day. There's a lot of haunted places in Scotland, UK. Man, if we could go there,
Wow.
that's on the top of my bucket list, Liz. I would love to go there.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe, yeah, exactly.
Um,
Anywhere in overseas, I would love to go. And Scotland's definitely on the list.
Eric's near Memphis, and he visited Hot Springs last year.
Oh,
Awesome.
cool.
Now, Memphis is a pretty spooky place, too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Memphis got
Yeah,
speaking there too.
Yes.
yeah, that area that's like very touristy or whatever. That they have the big is it Bill Street? What is it? What is
Bill
the
Street.
big music festival? Huh?
Yes,
That's
Bill.
Yeah, that area seems like it has a lot of
I'm
stigma
sure.
energy.
I'm sure.
See, it's everywhere. And that's the thing. You're right. And to see, a lot of people doesn't realize they're just everywhere because they're energy. I mean, some places are haunted more than others, but I mean, just look how many crosses you see on the side of the road. Those
Right.
are actually more haunted than
Yeah.
a graveyard. I mean, people died on that
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah,
They didn't die in a
in the
graveyard.
it was
They died
tragic,
in a cemetery.
really
Yeah.
tragic.
Well,
Yeah,
some,
and untimely.
Yeah.
and
Sydney
those are
said,
very active spots.
Yeah. Who said they want to go to the Crescent?
Sydney
Mhm.
wants to go back to the Crescent Hotel.
Yeah, that I love the Crescent Hotel. That's one of my favorites.
And Steven says, go ahead and plug August Friday the 13th and Saturday the 14th. That's these guys are actually already gonna go. They're already planning to go.
We are planning to go on. We have booked a cabin already. My sister actually
Yeah.
has booked a cabin, so she's going also. It's her
That's
birthday
amazing.
weekend, so we will be there.
Yeah, we heard you mention it. We didn't, we just kind of skipped over it. But yeah, that's very interesting.
I'll probably look for a cabin probably nearby them because I
That would be great. It's gonna be
saw
fun.
those when we went there, and they were really nice. The ones that you guys probably got one of. We were looking at that area.
Well, we're in Beaver Bend. I can't think of the name of it at the moment, but it's gonna be great. And I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. This is gonna be so fun.
Good night, Jeff.
Yeah.
Sorry, somebody's leaving.
Oh, good night.
Thanks for joining us and
Yeah.
telling us about the Bel Air house.
Yeah. Yes,
Right.
thank you very much. I'm going to look that
Oh
up.
yes, definitely. I'll look it up.
I always want to look up new places that I haven't heard of or whatever. I mean, there's like so many, but I don't remember that
Can't
name.
believe there's one we haven't heard of.
It's hard. It's hard to take it all in.
So have you guys been up to Eureka Springs at all?
It's been years,
Oh wow, though.
but that is somewhere that I heard that has very
It's a
interesting
very active
places.
place.
Very active. I think she
Mhm.
knows more about it than I do.
That's where the Crescent Hotel is.
That I believe that is where it's at. Yes,
Yeah.
but I have not visited.
I haven't either, but I'd love to.
Yeah, you guys should definitely check that out, especially since you're in the same state and this,
Exactly.
Yeah, for real, right?
It's been so long since I've been there.
I
I was a
can't-
little kid when I went last time, I think.
We like to go to Jefferson a lot. She's only been there once with me. Jefferson, Texas. Oh my gosh, dude, that is the place to go to. That is a very active. That whole town is popping.
Is it?
Wow.
I don't think I've been there.
I mean, everything is in arm's reach. There's still places we want to go. There's places we want to revisit, like Cave Springs. They have just torn it down. but I know there's still going to be some activity there. We just got to wait and see what they're going to do to it, or if
They're going to put
be
a highway across
accessible.
it.
Yes.
Oh, there's going to be spirits causing accidents right there, probably.
It's a very, very active.
They're familiar with.
Yeah, very active. And yeah, who knows what's going to happen there. That's true. There could be lots of accidents there. That's for real.
Have y'all heard of Ernestine and Hazel's America's Most Haunted Dive Bar in downtown Memphis? Memphis can be a very spooky place.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that, but Memphis is a very spooky place. It's a very cool place, and it can be spooky in lots of ways. But there's a lot of old houses there. Yes.
Yeah,
And
we can find. We can see if we can find Elvis at Graceland. We can go to.
Right. Right. I've only been to the gates of Graceland. I've never been into Graceland.
I went there, but it was over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
See, that's why we want to revisit a lot of different places. There's a place outside of Juddsonians. There's a little grave. It's posted on our site. I have photos of it. It's just in the middle of the highway, and like if you look at first, you just think it's a median, and you see all these, and you think, okay, it's somebody had a wreck there, but no, it's an actual grave. And I forgot how old it goes back. I mean, it's way early 1900s.
It's like in between two highways? Like in between two?
It's between three, yes. It comes straight into three highways. So it's just enough section for the grave and a chain link fence they finally put around it. But the story of the little girl is unknown. But it's Juddsonian, the little grave in Juddsonian. It's literally in the middle of the highway, and it's a grave and a tree. And now there's a fence around it. And the stories are just outrageous, but it's very active. But it's very hard to get to.
Yeah.
Because you will get hit. I mean, you'll get hit.
Yeah. You got to walk there on late at night, like maybe between 3 or 5 a.m.
Correct, but it's very well worth checking out. It's
Adam says Gettysburg.
Yeah,
Gettysburg. Really want to go to Gettysburg.
I would love to go there. It's active. And I have some we acquired some cannonballs actually, and we don't know if they're haunted or not, but we liked them, and they could be haunted. I mean, who knows if they were used, if they weren't, but these are actual cannonballs. So cool. They will eventually maybe be brought out. We'll see if they have any activity. If not, they'll just go in our personal collection of cool things to have from that era.
And Sydney said, Eureka Springs is so cute.
It's kind of a crazy, if I remember, they have all the crazy colored houses. And,
and buses. There's like buses with like rainbow tie-dye on them. And
wow, it's been a minute.
Little shops that sell crystals, and they do aura readings. And
we love crystals. Hot Springs.
They're the best coffee shops.
Some of the best crystals here.
I actually dug some in Hot Springs. That's where I got the last huge box of crystals. As I went to Hot Springs and dug them up right there where you guys are at. Jefferson.
We can hook you up with some of the best, most pierced crystals, and an angel can do her thing.
That'd be awesome if y'all know a good place to find some.
We do. Check out that baby.
Yeah, that's very clear.
We have them in all sizes. We do the moon thing, the rainwater. Angel does the whole works on them.
That's awesome. It's awesome to meet other people that do that stuff too, because then it confirms kind of that I'm not so crazy for doing that.
No, you're not crazy at all.
I do my magic on everything.
Angel and I have different capabilities here in the dollhouse, and then we have our combined. So it works out great,
Did you guys say Jefferson? Y'all were talking about Jefferson, right?
Yes, Jefferson, Texas, correct.
Yeah, Sydney said that's on her bucket list of places to go. She lives in Texas.
Go. Yeah. Go. Yeah. They worked at Nacogdoches, Texas also. I don't know a lot of history there. It's been years. It was a kid, but I do know it's one of the oldest. Claimed to be the oldest. They're in argument with another town over it, I think. But it's very haunted. But Jefferson is definitely worth the visit.
Yeah.
Stay in the Jefferson Hotel.
Yeah.
Nacogdoches. Is it close to Memphis, Nacogdoches?
No, it's way down southeast Texas.
Texas. Yeah.
Oh, Texas. Never mind.
Down past Lufkin, down before you get Houston.
Oh, wow.
No, there's Ricky Lee. Ricky Lee late to the show. Hey,
Ricky.
And Liz says, have you ever been to Alcatraz prison? It's on my bucket list. Really haunted in the mausoleum there.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
is really haunted too. I have saw some on TV from Scotland. Some people from Scotland on TV, I guess, that had gone there. Yeah,
Mhm.
Liz, that's on my bucket list for sure.
Salem.
I've been all around Alcatraz, but not in it.
I,
I've been all around it too, but not in it yet.
I've never even seen it, so that's nice. That's
We want to
nice.
go in
I
it.
know.
Yes.
Ricky says, "Now I'm in the right place. Just got here. Sorry, I'm late."
Let's
Oh,
go.
wow.
Hey, but you're here. But you're here.
Yeah.
We should see if Sydney wants to go to Fairfest because she's like one of our mascots. I feel like she's just at
Yeah.
she's on every show here. I mean, she just lives
Awesome.
on the Paranormal United Network.
That's
Awesome.
cool. Then.
We could give her like a special chair and like a little crown.
A sash.
Yeah,
Right.
sash. He got
Right
his days
on.
and nights mixed up. Who has a train going by? I do. It's literally across the street. Like,
Okay, see, we tried to put some filter noise because that's what we scared would happen
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
yeah, sorry, I don't control the time of the train, and it only comes by at the most inconvenient time.
Exactly.
Never when you're not doing anything and you're just, I don't know, when you're sleeping, sometimes it comes by too.
But-
So.
Sunday at 1:00 in the morning.
I'm surprised the spirits are participating yet. I keep looking to see if something's going to fall on
Yeah.
us because this
hope
is the
they do.
most calm they have ever been.
Mhm.
This is really the most calm they've ever
Maybe
been.
they like the attention.
They do. We do ask them. It sounds silly, but like I think I mentioned before and got off track, they're not trained puppets. People get so frustrated. They order, oh, it's not haunted. I got frauded. I got cheated. You might have, but maybe you didn't give it enough time. Maybe you didn't work with
Yeah.
it. Maybe,
Sometimes you have
maybe
to
they don't
be
like
patient.
you.
Some spirits are shy, and some of them are patient. Some of them are patient.
Yeah.
Some of them are shy. I think Native American spirits seem like they're patient, and I mean it depends on the energy. But then some of them, like maybe a kid spirit, will come to the right vibrational match for them only, and they won't come to just anybody. Just like a human, real child, that's shy.
Yeah.
That's funny because not disrespect. We treat some of them as cats or kids because
Yeah.
they act like that sometimes.
Yeah.
They knock stuff off shelves. They throw fit. And so we don't bring them home. Then you asked us about favorites earlier. You may have gotten us in trouble. We may pay for those comments later.
Here's a question for you guys: did you guys ever want to do anything else in life besides handle haunted stuff?
Yes,
Sure.
I've done lots of things. I used to be in the music industry, from roadie all the way up to promoter to interviewer. I've interviewed lots of bands, been on stage with lots of bands. Then I got tired of that. That just, I did that for quite a few years. Then I started doing the antique thing, and that found me the haunted thing. And then I love Halloween so much that we just decided to do Halloween and charity events, and that's what we do now for the moment. But yeah, I've had lots of other chapters in my life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Angel
I've
has
been a
as
nurse,
well.
pharmacy tech.
Really? That's awesome. So you were a caretaker already before you took care of the little energetic children and objects.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna have to go out there and see if we can't visit your Halloween event when you do it.
Oh, we would love
Yes,
to,
that'd be
and
great.
portions of it will go to charity, and it always does. We're not one of those that just say that.
This year will probably be the animal cruelty. Stop animal cruelty.
Yes.
They need it bad.
Yeah.
I have a daughter that's
See
against
you out
animal
there.
cruelty.
Be a great cause. We have a lot of fun. It separates the people who says they're not scared from the dolls to the ones that are. And you'll never look at toys the same again. And we don't do bloody. We don't, like I said, it would be PG-14.
Yeah.
But we're gonna scare you.
After we went to Broken Bow Asylum and we went through there on an investigation, I might not ever look at Halloween decorations the same. Because they had a lot of decorations and like other stuff there that I was just like, what?
Well, right. And we use authentic props as often as we can. And so that adds to it, and it helps.
Yeah. Ricky Lee said you have to show them the same amount of energy in order for them to reciprocate that same energy back to you. It's like a 50-50 relationship.
It is a relationship.
Yeah, it is.
Just don't be too demanding. And that's when you start thinking, oh, I've got nothing here, when you've got something, but they just don't want to answer to demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has any of them ever, I guess, manifested any kind of written statements or anything?
We've seen scribbles, nothing ever actually legible. Marks,
Yeah,
no.
nothing like
For
that.
no, not for us personally. Except I've seen marks on paper. When I'm writing my story, it seems like they really communicate with me, and that is where I get the stories
Mhm.
from. But as far as hey, go away, leave, we love you, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
Or higher by, or
Yeah.
just a little
right. No.
scribble, and you're like, how did that
Now
happen?
I played with pendulums and made my own boards, and they spoke to us that way. But I don't use those anymore either.
Mm.
Got a comment. The dark zone is great, and they do the live. The Conjuring House was great. All of the cameras in all the different rooms.
Nice. You
That's
know what I
cool.
did?
I haven't been there either. I'd like to go there too, but it's not at the very top of my bucket list. Not like the Haunted Doll Island. I'd rather go
Right.
there.
Right, right. But
Yeah, I got an
you,
inside guy that's going to get us into the Conjuring house eventually. So
Yes,
I,
please. Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Ricky Lee
I
says, I take whatever objects I can get. I get lucky. And when I'm patient, I get it. But if I want them to, they don't do anything. I guess like you can't force them.
Ricky,
Right.
your little girl's on the way, by the way. You're gonna love her.
Oh, no way. Y'all are sending him an object. What's
Maybe I wasn't supposed to let that out. My bad.
the next one? No, it's okay.
My
He
bad.
usually shows them to me anyways when he gets them.
She's a sweet little girl. I think Ricky's gonna love her.
Or he'll post them on one of the pages or whatever.
Yeah.
So he was trying to get one of mine, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to sell her or not right now. There was a doll that I had posted a photo of, and she came in a bag full of human hair, and it
nice.
smelled
Hey,
really weird too.
hey,
Oh.
can I tell you? Can I not to interrupt you?
No,
We
Go ahead.
found a box of hair, and we found 2 boxes. Okay, and this hair is active. Okay, I actually have it hidden.
Really?
Yes, I have it
Are
hidden
you
over
for
there.
real?
Yes.
Yes.
So we kept having this house has had the look. I'm rubbing my eyes.
Yeah.
This house has blew our minds. Okay, for lack of better words, this house is just. I don't know what the lady was into, man. But we kept hearing weird noises, and I kept thinking it was rats or something. And we finally went over there and we looked and looked, and there was this weird box, and we had gloves on at the time. Thank gosh. And so I dug down in. Look, it made me scratch my face.
Yeah.
So I dug down in there, and it was hair, and it's dated all the way back to the 30s and the 40s and 50s.
It's
And
labeled.
it's labeled and it's
Oh,
plaid,
wow.
but the weird thing is it's all different colors, but no one's name's on it except
Is
one.
it in bundles or little
It's in
bundles?
bags and bundles and
Yeah.
Ziplocs, and then it was in this weird box, and it was all hidden up under another box, and it
I
kind of
wonder what would be the
weirded me out.
story behind that.
So we brought it home,
Hmm.
and it was the weirdest thing, and I've been trying to figure out what to do with it because we don't like it. It's kind of weird to us.
Hello, hands right here. I'll take it.
We
If
will talk
you
then,
want to
okay?
rid
We
of
will talk.
it.
I will show. We will talk. We have a box
Okay.
of weird hair.
Yeah.
I'm weird, and I used to do hair, and I have wigs, all kinds of wigs, tons of wigs. I have extensions. I
Then
have fake hair that I tie into my hair, and I make dreadlocks out of it.
we got something
Hey.
for you, and I think this is haunted. We do think it's haunted.
It's so weird. I'm the weird hair person.
Sure.
Liz says I have to go. Good night, Liz. She's got to
Good
go.
night, Liz.
It's a different time there. They're like 5 or 6 hours ahead of us, so
Thanks for watching this.
she's probably been up all night, or she got up and wasn't ready to get up yet because she was so excited to see us, right? The Conjuring House was awesome. I did my first overnight investigation there.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Nice. That had to be
Now
awesome.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's the Shining Hotel?
The Stanley.
The
The
Stanley.
Yeah, we'd love to go there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And your job, you're good, bro. I always I always show mine off. He's talking about the dog.
Yeah, then he sends me pictures of them. I'm like, nope.
I was like, no, today's ain't not for me.
Hey, check out these lovely girls.
Oh my goodness. She looks
Helga
like,
and Eunice.
Wow.
the one on the one on the right's creepy looking.
Isn't she?
You're
Yeah.
She was Helga first. We got her, and then we found her twin, and they're fighting over the chairs. You could see they do weird
It's cool
stuff
y'all
sometimes.
have the double chairs for the double dolls. I like that. That's really neat. I haven't seen a lot of those. I collect dolls and I collect stands and I collect chairs and like rocking chairs to put the dolls in, but I haven't seen a double chair.
They're kind of hard to
Yes.
find, so
Yeah.
we get them. We have probably over 200, 300 dolls. So a lot of them are for props, but then you find the active one, you know, and then we have the 30 between us, between our personal and the others that are active. And so, yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of hard to find them cases and chairs, and
Yeah.
and that causes squabbles, and then you get broken dolls and broken
Yeah.
vessels and broken stuff.
Yeah.
None
I
of them
actually had
suit each other.
messaged him and asked y'all about a doll that I had that was broken. I had messaged
Oh
him and I was
yeah,
like, what do you do with the doll that's broken? Like it fell on its face and it just caved in its head. And I was like, I don't really know what to do with it.
well, if she really loves that vessel, she'll stay there and
Yeah.
understand that it was an accident, you know. And if not, she'll find another vessel and stay there with you if she's happy there.
And
Now,
Ricky Lee's going to fight me for the hair. So I called
you,
dibs.
Now, you know,
you,
sometimes we will change out the hair and stuff, but that's another thing we don't do unless we ask them. And the thing we kind of have a pet peeve with, and we may offend people. We're not trying to. Why do you go paint a doll and call it haunted, man? Because maybe that doll chose that vessel, and now you went and painted it. Did you ask it?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's what
yeah.
I say. To ask permission.
Yes. And then if they say, okay, our dolls do not do any exhibits, any show without pictures, because I've been hurt, I've been poked, I've been stabbed in the eye, and people claim they saw it. I tried to say it was an accident, but I had 3 witnesses saying that doll stuck me in the eye.
Mm.
And she did not want to participate. And I also ended up in Chat Magazine because dolls didn't want to participate, but it saved me from a tornado that destroyed the first dollhouse we had.
No,
Really?
it's
So,
tornado
guys,
season.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys
So-
get a chance to Google Chat Its Fate, it was the June 2016 issue. You can still find it online.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. So your cases and to enclose some of these dolls sometimes, do you have, you say it's a hard time finding certain cases, you just build your own?
We do if we have to
Yeah.
sometimes. And we case them for their protection,
Yeah.
not, you know, for the vessel. If they don't like to be cased, we have to explain it to them. Look, you're deteriorating. You're going to have to find another vessel, or
Yeah.
this is what we have to do.
Yeah, that's it.
We never case them because, ooh, they're evil and we got to lock them away.
Right.
But yes, we build our own, or we hunt some down. We try to grab them when we can, but not all dolls like to be cased. They just have to be sometimes.
I've seen live proof of that on TV of dolls opening the cases that they're in and coming out, or just opening the cases and moving around, or
Right.
I've seen like people have recorded stuff like that of a haunted doll that was in a case and it kept opening the door and kept opening the door, or it would fall out of the case
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
I have one little Nikki, and that's why I didn't bring her over here. I didn't think she'd participate. She's sitting over here on our organ. We actually acquired a 1800 pump organ a couple of weeks ago, and we love it. And we think it may be a little haunted. It's got a little hokey pokey to
That
it.
would be neat.
But we
Yeah.
acquired Nikki, and Nikki will not participate. She will not stay in a case. She will knock things down, and that's why she's not over here with us right now. She is like trying to hold on to a cat. She falls, you'll have her by one leg, and I'm scared I'll break her. But we do have dolls that will not participate. They will not.
Kind of like a stubborn child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about that.
That's for real.
I have a question. Have y'all ever seen animals or pets interact with any of your items? Like they knew that there was
Yeah.
something different about it?
Absolutely.
On both sides. We've had a dog that was very sensitive, a friend of ours dog
Mhm.
that's we're very close to, that's very sensitive to paranormal. And this is a big rot. And if it was bad, that dog would just curl up like a puppy. And if
Yeah.
it was good, man, he was just yes.
Mhm.
And our cat is really very sensitive to it. If she does not like a doll, we are very weary of that doll. And why? We've had a
Yeah.
couple. We actually had a photo in the house not long ago that I had to get rid of. It was an 1800 and something photo of this baby in this frame, and it made both of us sick. And
Yeah. That's actually one of the darkest things we've had.
Yes.
As a part of
The cat
Just
would not
the
come out.
energy?
Our cat would
It
not
was
come out
bad.
from under the bed for 2 days. And finally I got rid of it, and she still walked down here with caution for 3 days.
Wow.
And if she doesn't like an item, we don't like an item.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
She just acts different.
your
Yeah,
little buddy, your fur baby, your familiar.
Yes.
absolutely.
She's your energy detector.
Yes, and she
Yes.
did find us. Her mom actually looked out the window one day and there was this little fuzzy cat, and she's never been normal anyway. She's always looked at us weird. She reads our lips.
Yes.
She's a different
I
little kind
had a
of
weird
cat.
vampire cat. I called him. His name is Theo. I called him my little vampire cat.
Yes.
They know. They know
Yeah.
stuff.
He didn't
For
like
sure.
to with me.
She's a little alien cat.
Does the activity in your rooms and stuff like that with the dolls and everything else, does it amp up like when storms come through or anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what's really weird? We get a lot of activity in the winter in the snow. Like this past snow we had,
Yes.
oh my
Mhm.
gosh, it was popping.
Oh,
But
my.
our activity comes probably, I would say, what, January, February, and then around June and July and August is always popping for us. But
Yeah.
yes, the weather does affect it. That
Mhm.
snow was outrageous up in here. It was almost impossible.
Yeah, they didn't like to be quarantined.
That and
Dead cabin fever.
we have so many in here, and we have haunted items. We have furniture. We have so much stuff that has energy. We actually, to be honest, do not know how much energy we do have in here from all the items we've brought in.
Ricky
Wow.
Lee said he had a dog. His ex's dog did not like any of his items. He always braked and went into protective mode when he was around the objects.
That doesn't.
They know.
They know something about that item, hokey.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the main founders or owners of Paranormal United Network has a doll that came from a Masonic lodge that's extremely interesting and unique. I've never seen anything like it. You
Wow.
guys, I'll see if I can get a photo and show it to you guys. It's very odd, very different, very weird and creepy too.
Would love to see it. We collect a lot of Masonic stuff.
Yes.
I would love to collect some Masonic stuff. I'm just like,
We have quite a bit. Yes.
yeah.
We collect everything,
I was
man.
gonna say, we have just about
There's
a
a
little bit of
fine line
everything.
between hoarding and collecting. Just so
Yes,
you know.
we're almost
But do
crossing.
you sometimes find yourself hoarding and then have to stop and go back to collecting and like get rid of
Yes, because we
All
have
the
2
time.
storage buildings and the dollhouse, and
All the
then
time.
Yeah. I
personal.
have that problem running out of storage space. And I'm like, well, who wants to rehome this doll?
That's why we do it. I'm glad you brought that up. That is why we rehome them. And some of them's just not a match. Like people, we just don't like each other. It doesn't mean they're mean or evil. They're negative. We just don't get along. There's been several of them that will get along with her and not me, and
Yeah.
vice versa. So we just try to find them a match and rehome them.
Yes, it is
It's
creepy.
usually me they don't get along with, though. They just.
There's a lot of jealousy sometimes we find in
Yeah. Rivalry.
It really is. And
I tell them, hey, if you don't straighten up, you gotta go.
we do set borders for them. I mean, you have to. We set boundaries, and I mean, you have to be firm with them. We're not all willy nilly with our sport, but there's still again, we have no control over what they actually do.
Yeah.
Do you feel that your collection is a hub? Like it attracts other energies from different places?
Most definitely,
Yes.
and we kind of like that. Yeah, we kind of like that, and then we leave a lot of open vessels, and that's also why we have so many dolls. Besides the haunted house, we like to be very inviting.
Yes.
And offer them items and vessels to come to and just hang out. And that's the whole thing here. We don't push. You can hang out. This can be a clubhouse for spirit.
And on our realms, the new chapter, I'm going to introduce angels vessels. So it's going to be different vessels. Some are just empty vessels, and that way, if you need an empty vessel, if
That's a
you
good idea.
look at something, yes, and it's going to be. It's not just going to be dolls. It's going to be all different objects.
I have a bunch of things like that in my storage that I'm just hanging on to for the right person. Like
Yes,
the right person, and it just seems like they need that thing and it needs them. Does that make sense? Like
exactly
it
right.
go to
Yes.
them.
I have
'Cause I think people
jewelry.
and
Yeah,
just give me a doll randomly.
yeah, I have dolls, crystals, jewelry. I have so many different items. It's just I'm just gonna try to find the right person to match them with.
I give crystals away a lot to people that I think need them or whatever, and like cleanse them and tell them what to do with it and how to take care of it for the right
Yes.
person. We're talking about that doll that Adrian has. The head of it's like glass, and it cuts off, like they cut the cranium off, and they replaced it with this glass that you can see. And they put all these random, weird, strange old items in it. It was found in a closet in a Masonic lodge.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I once placed a crystal inside of a doll's head, and the doll about a year or so later started acting really weird, and then her cap just popped off. And so I was like, "Whoa!" And I actually kind of forgotten the crystal was in it, and then I kind of man, when I shook it out, it was so dark and so cracked and so just like, wow, what went on in there, girl? And it was the weirdest thing because when I put it in there, it was clear. It was clear crystal.
Ricky Lee asked, "How did you hang up your Annabelle doll?" Raggedy Ann doll. I mean,
she's hung up by the collar of her neck here, by the button.
She's just Raggedy Ann.
She's just a Raggedy Ann for now. We're hoping maybe something will be attracted and jump in there as long as the right thing does. But she's just hanging there, Ricky.
he said they'll bring that doll to the Fear Fest so you guys can see it. The Masonic doll.
Bring it, please. Okay, that would be great.
And Ricky Lee says, I still have some of Rhonda's dolls, unless she gave them to me. Nope, you can't have them. There's some dolls in a storage building, and they're wrapped up in like a tarp, and I haven't came and got them, but I need to.
Oh, well.
So do you think any of your spirits from there leave with you when you go somewhere else, like hang out with you? Do you feel
Definitely, dude. You can ask the guy that books a lot of our estate stuff, and he's sort of our boss and partner. And he's seen things, and he'll just step away, dude.
Yeah.
But he's a Bigfoot believer, but he's scared of our stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I don't say I don't believe in Bigfoot, but he'll chase Bigfoot, but he'll run from our dolls.
Yeah.
And so it freaks us out. But he's seen things. I was holding this board one time, and he'll tell you it just said whoop, and just flew out of my hand. And he just looked at me and stepped right over and kept talking because he already knows. And so when we go places and something happens, he always looks at me like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "No, dude, that was just an accident. Yeah. It was just an accident."
He always says, "You probably brought it with you."
Is that you?
Do you think you can feel their different personalities of which one it is sometimes?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that's how we separate our personal collection too, because they will speak to us and we'll know which one it is. And that's usually the one that hangs out with us. And that's cool if that's what they want to do. You know, come on, just don't. We always ask them, to be honest. Hey, look, and then we do talk to them for real. If you wreck this car or you do anything crazy, your vessel's going down too. I mean, you're going
grounded. You're going in the glass box for a week.
That's we don't. Who knows where you're going to end up? Yeah. So we're straight with them, and we try to just hope they're straight.
You're going on the shelf, and I'm not playing with you for a week.
Correct.
That would probably be a good threat.
I think we just try to be open with them so that they know that, you know, there's rules. We're not playing. You can hang out here. We'll do whatever if you're trying to get to the other side, you're trying to get a new home. That's great. If you just want to stay here, we got plenty of vessels and items to jump in. Just don't cause us no harm.
Yeah.
And you can tag along. And yes, we do think they tag along. And sometimes we do know which ones it is. It'll be Bethy or Amelia sometimes. Yeah. Reagan used to hang out, but Reagan's a loner now. She'll stay. She always stays home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ricky said, I got you. I have one as well. Actually, I have 3 Raggedy Ann dolls. One is Raggedy Dan. One is Raggedy Ann.
Nice.
Renee said, I still have the crystals you gave me. I gave her some crystals.
Okay.
A while back. And
always great cat.
Huh?
Hey Roxy, come here. Here's our Roxy. Come here, girl.
Uh-oh. We're gonna meet.
She got nosy. We've been downstairs too long.
We're gonna meet a real live kindred spirit there.
She's really being nosy. She's over here looking at. Oh, she's messing with Louise. Here's the newest one.
Cats are always intrigued by anything paranormal. I swear.
Yeah, here caught our attention.
He has a cat. The cat makes an appearance in there.
There she comes. Come on, Roxy. She loves this one. Come here, Roxy.
Who is that one?
This one is Louise. We recently acquired her. She's gotten new hair, but she plays music when she wants to on her own. And this is the one Roxy's coming to. Come on. Come here. Come on, Roxy. Let me put her down here. Maybe she'll make her way over here to her. She's trying to find her way back over here. We kind of blocked her in with the studio. Come on. Well, she's gonna make.
Not gonna do it.
She's looking for her to get over here, but then like a cat, she's gonna come in. But this is the
Renee's
one.
gonna go with me to Waverly Hills.
But this is definitely the one our cat is liking right now. Roxy is digging on Louise. So we don't know a
Louise.
lot about Louise, but we've just recently acquired her.
That's a cute
And
name.
that's funny that she just came down and this is who she went to.
I like that name. Steven said, "Yeah, we're going to bring the that doll to the Fear Fest, but first they're gonna bring the doll to Waverly Hills."
Oh,
That's cool.
wait, yeah.
That doll's not gonna know what's happening at Waverly Hills.
No.
If
Wow.
it's not haunted yet, it will be.
we get afraid sometimes that something might do that, like either take ours over or just jump in with it and ride
Yeah.
along. We do believe in that, yes.
Yeah, like kind of you protect the doll, like a kid,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
getting overwhelmed or like like I guess a meltdown or overload.
Yeah. And they can do that to us as well, though. They can get up in and just overload us and overwhelm us till we don't even know what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And then you just start thinking, oh, and you get all these wild thoughts, and you got to think, wait a minute, I am surrounded by all this energy, just,
Yeah.
and you just have to sit back from it and leave it alone. And I think that's where some people may mess up. They just keep pushing. Just stop, and walk away. It'll come back. It'll come to you. It'll come to you.
Yeah, it's kind of like I had a horse one time, and it was a rescue horse, and because it had been abused and malnutritioned and not fed and not broken and not ridden or like taken care of or whatever. And me and my dad had a fight because he said that horses didn't have a soul and that I couldn't know that horse would only come to me because it had been abused. He's like, no, that's not it. She's just being stubborn. And I was like, that horses have a soul and that horse's soul is traumatized from what it went through before you got her. And he was like, oh, no, that's not. And I was like, I'll just agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But she was very timid because I guess, she was just timid, like a kid.
Right. And that's why we think it's great we can use our dolls to help save animals sometimes. And we give to various other charities but for the longest time it was hard because when I first started with dolls, before I met Angel, I was a guy. And so that was really strange when I started like 2005 or 6 or 7 and I'm looking for dolls and people's just looking at, now they know us really well, but back then it was really strange.
That a guy was shopping for dolls?
Right, correct.
Ricky Lee gets that all the time. He's like, what? I like dolls. I don't.
Dude,
guys
yeah,
like
just
dolls.
do your thing, man, because that's what we kept doing, and I kept doing it. And
That's funny.
yeah, just stay with it.
Yeah.
Just stay
That's
with
hilarious. I never ever once ridiculed him, and I have given him some dolls. So I've never ridiculed him for that. Yeah, he's just like a brother, kind of. So I mean, I guess I would make fun of a brother, but I
right.
haven't made fun of him for that yet.
Man, I'm telling you, I used to get some strange looks, and now they know us, and plus, I don't care. I know what I'm doing, what we're doing, and hey, if it's a doll, if it's a bookend, whatever, I'm checking it out. I'm looking at it, and plus, for Halloween, we're always shopping, and then if a vessel wants to go with us on exhibition, then it's gonna go. We've had some great times. We've had some grown men. We did a haunted doll hunt in the woods one time.
What?
Yeah, it was
I would so do that.
That was Amelia. Amelia, I wished I had her poster with us tonight, but I
How
couldn't.
about a haunted doll camping trip?
That would be great. See, so you had to go down and find Becky's doll through the woods and make it to the shed. And there's a whole backstory that goes with that Amelia wrote, and that's going to go into our graphic novel. But anyway, so we did the haunted doll hunt. And so we're walking through the woods, and I hear this grown man, and his kids are like, Daddy, hold this, please. And he's like, I can't believe I'm walking through the woods holding the dolls. And so I'm finding it. I'm like, I do it every day. And this grown man just about jumped out of his skin, and then he laughed. But the funny part, at the end of the night, we have grown men and women standing there taking pictures with our dolls. And it is such a great feeling and also entertaining, too.
Yeah.
And then you break down that whole, stereotyping somebody, and then you see a grown man holding a doll and happy to hold it. It's just really funny. And then you see kids holding them. And one year we did an event, and one of our dolls actually came through. This little kid kept tapping it, and I kept asking him to leave it alone. And she actually spewed. His coat was already open, and it actually spewed in his face. And that guy walked away a believer. We had
That's
more
funny.
people in our line 5 minutes later than we could even talk to. It was great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I hate to cut you guys off because this is a really good conversation and everybody's interacting, but I'm going to read one more comment and then I want you guys to tell anybody the information about your haunted house and where you guys are located, like city and state and all that stuff.
Okay.
Ricky Lee said, just tell them you're buying the doll for the neighbor's kid for a birthday present or you're getting it for your neighbor.
Oh, well, a lot of times people wouldn't sponsor our events because of it was haunted dolls and everything. And now they come to us like, hey, will you? Can you?
Yeah.
And so it's changed a lot over the past few years.
That's awesome.
I'm telling everybody good night real quick.
Good
Tell
night.
everybody where they can find your haunted house or they can find your doll house.
On Facebook, you can go to Realms of Paradox. We have a group and a page. We also have Bedlam Nursery Doll Sanitarium. All that is linked. We're going to actually build a real web page. The haunted house dates and location, as soon as it's nailed down within the next 2 weeks, will be listed on Facebook on all our pages, our sites. You can Google Cory or Angel Norr, and it'll pretty much take you to anything we do.
And their names are Cory and Angel Norr. Like they said, the last name is spelled Norr. I'm pretty sure I put it in the introduction and all of the ads that I've made for them or whatever. So, yay, thank you, Adam, for joining, and everyone else, and Chris, who joined at the end, and Ricky Lee, who was extremely late.
Everyone.
Enjoyed having you guys on. And after y'all's other project launches or whatever, if y'all want to come back on to, introduce the haunted house, that would be awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Well,
Thank you.
we are located in Hot Springs, Arkansas, by the way, and this was great, and we appreciate you very much. This was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Guys.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks.
Jason. Nice to meet you.
I will
You
talk
too.
to you soon about that hair, that haunted hair.
You-
I mean, like in 5 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. Really soon.
Tomorrow, I will show you some pictures and video of it.
All right.
All
Tomorrow.
right, good night. Thank you very much. It was very nice.
You're welcome. Good night, Angel.
Good night.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.
Good night.